This is the voice in the wilderness of the people, coming to you in the great wind. This is the day that EZER has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I pray that EZER has kept you in good health with great strength and has continued to shower you with his blessings, loving kindness, and his mercies. And you also have continued to call upon his name, do his commandments, and hope in his promises. My dear brothers and sisters, today I will read to you the words of EZER that he gave unto EZER-IAH to bring unto us his people who is called by his name, whom he hath chosen and have set apart, whom he has given his commandments and his promises, and has given us a land to become a nation. My dear brothers and sisters, today I will read EZER-IAH chapter 56, and then I will go in EZER-IAH chapter 49 and will read to you from verse 22 to 26. So it begins in chapter 56. Here EZER is speaking to us. He is telling us about the watchmen, not his watchmen, but the watchmen that are among us. He is warning us and making us know that those that we have among us that calls themselves watchmen, that call themselves prophets, that call themselves pastors. He is giving us, he is instructing us about them. He is telling us who they are. EZER is telling EZER-IAH to come to us and tell us what we have among us. He is explaining to EZER-IAH that he will let us know that the ones that are among us saying they are of EZER are not. And as I told you before, they are men of God, not men of EZER. And EZER is letting you know there is a difference between his prophets whom he sent with his name. Look at their names. You will see EZER's name is in their name. And in their mouth was the words of EZER, our Redeemer. There is no God in their names. And in their mouth was no God. The Most High, the Mighty One of Israel, has given us a name, EZER. And the prophecy sent to us was calling and teaching us his name. That's what they was doing to us. That's why they came in his name. That's why EZER took them from the womb. EZER called them from their mother's bowels to send them unto us. So I will begin. Thus says EZER, keep judgment, do justice, for his salvation is near to come, and his righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that does this, that has justice and do judgment, and the Son of Man that lay hold on it. So to the men that do it, and to the sons, the other men to come, that will take hold of it and do it. Justice and judgment and hope in IAH's salvation that is to come. His saving grace when he will save us. That keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing evil. Neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to IAH speak, saying, IAH has utterly separated me from his people. Here he's telling us about the strangers. And he's telling Isaiah to say unto the children of Israel that the strangers that are among them are not to be saying that IAH has separated them utterly from his people. IAH wants the strangers come unto us that we may teach them. IAH wants the strangers to treat us right that he may treat them right. IAH wants the strangers to bless us that he may bless them. That's what IAH wants. IAH does not want the strangers to keep away from us. IAH does not want the strangers to hate us. IAH does not want the strangers to do harm to his people. So here he is saying to them, to Isaiah, to say to the children of Israel that they must tell the strangers this. They must make the strangers know that IAH has not completely separated them from us. They have separated themselves from IAH and from us because of their wickedness. Not IAH has done that to them. He goes on to say, neither let the Enoch say, behold, I am a dry tree. So the Enoch is not to say he's a dry tree. He might not be able to have kids, but he is not a dry tree. He is not to say this. For thus says IAH unto the Enochs that keep his Sabbath, and choose the things that please IAH, and take hold of IAH's covenant, so that Enoch or that stranger can take hold of IAH's covenant. They can do the laws. They can keep the commandments. They can keep holy the Sabbath days. That's what IAH wants of the strangers. Even unto them IAH will give his house within his wall a place and a name, better than son and of daughter. I will give them an everlasting name, and shall not be cut off. Here IAH is promising them, he will cause them to know his name. And he will also put his name on whosoever seeks him, call out to him, do his commandments, keep his precepts and his statutes. IAH is saying he will give them that everlasting name, that power that he has given to Israel. He goes on to say, they shall not be cut off. IAH will not destroy them as he will destroy those who rejects him. And rejections to IAH comes even from Israel. Not only to the Gentiles, not only among the heathen, no, from Israel as well, and into IAH. There are those who will not accept IAH. And here IAH is offering that salvation to the strangers, to those he did not give his law, to those he did not give his name, to those he didn't give his promise. Now he is offering them that which was not given to them. And he's given them through the children of EZER-IAH. They have to come to us to get this. And blessed are those who know it. He says from verse 6, also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to IAH to serve him. You see, not just the Enoch, not just those, but also the strangers, also the children of the strangers. And the strangers are the Gentiles, the other nations. They are Gentiles. All the other nations are Gentiles. All non-Hebrew Israelites. All those that does not have that bloodline and that light that was given by IAH. When they seek to join themselves to IAH, to serve him and to love his name, to be his servants, everyone that keep the Sabbath from polluting it and take hold of his covenant, learn his laws and do them. Right there, my brothers and sisters. Verse 6, chapter 56 of EZER-IAH. He has made it clear to us about the strangers. We are not to drive them away. We are also to encourage them to come to us. Because those that will come to us are those that IAH sent to us. In 7 he says, even them IAH will bring unto his holy mountain, Mount Moriah in Jerusalem, and make them joyful in his house of prayer. You see, they have to come into the house of prayer among EZER-IAH. They have to come among EZER-IAH in the house of prayer. Their burnt offering and their sacrifice shall be accepted upon IAH's altar. So today, we are a scattered people. We does not have that altar, neither the temple. So their prayers is an offering, and their prayers will be accepted unto IAH. When they do it with their whole heart, their whole soul, and with their strength. When they do it knowing what they are doing. When they do it, remove all their hatred, remove all their evil desires, remove their covetousness and jealousy, remove all the evil that is in them, and accept IAH's law. Call upon his name. Do his commandments. IAH say he will accept their sacrifice. For my house IAH's house shall be a house of prayer for all people. All those who come to IAH, all those who seek him, all those who call upon his name. It will be a house of prayer to them. IAH, who gathered the outcast of EZER-IAH, says, here he is telling you, IAH is telling you who have said this. He is telling you, he who gathered you when you didn't know him. He who redeemed you when you turned your back on him. He who will save you, EZER-IAH, when you turn back to him. He's telling you he will gather others to him, besides those that are gathered unto him. Besides the children of EZER-IAH that will return unto IAH, IAH will also accept the strangers that will turn unto him. Verse 8. IAH, your Redeemer, who gathered the outcast of EZER-IAH, says, he will gather others to him, besides those that are gathered to him. In 9 he says, all the beasts of the field come to devour, yea, all the beasts of the forest. Here IAH is telling you, all the nations, they are coming to destroy you. They are the beasts of the field. They are those that are coming to devour you. All the beasts of the field, all the other nations. But there will be from among them who are coming to hear about IAH and to learn IAH's ways from us. And here he's telling you, there are those that are among us who will teach otherwise. There are those that are among us will help the beast to devour us. That's why we have so many of our brothers and sisters teaching Christianity, teaching Islam. They are also the beasts that are among us. They are the beasts that are among us. They are destroying us. They are causing us to perish. And here I say, all the beasts of the field come to devour. All the beasts in the forest, all of them. Listen to their doctrine. They are men of GODS. Men of GODS cannot bring IAH's teaching unto you. Men of GODS cannot bring the name of IAH unto you. They are bringing the name of God. They are not bringing IAH's name to you. They are the beast of the field. Now let us see what IAH says about them. Verse 10. These watchmen are blind. They are not, we must know, they are not IAH's watchmen. They are saying they are IAH's watchmen. They are not. They are GODs. They are watchmen of GODs and of Allah and those other from the strangers. They are not IAH's watchmen. They does not carry the name of IAH to you. They does not teach you the name IAH. They does not give you his name. They doesn't teach you, for that matter, they tell you his commandments is done away with. That's what they are telling you. The opposite to what I say IAH is teaching you right here in this book. Here he's telling you, those that hold on to his covenant, which is his laws, anyone who take hold of his laws and do them, he says in 7, even them will IAH bring to his holy mountain and make them joyful in his house of prayer. Their offerings IAH will accept. His house shall be called a house of prayer. IAH's name will be among his people, and the strangers that join with them will know his name. And these are those whom IAH is saying he will bring unto his holy mountain that is called by his name. He says in 10, these watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. They're sleeping. They're lying down. They love to sleep. They love to slumber. My dear brothers and sisters, let me read this over again. Let me show you the beast of the field that is devouring you. Let me show you the beast of the forest that is devouring you. This is Isaiah chapter 56, and we go to verse 10. These people who are out there calling themselves pastors, calling themselves deacons, calling themselves prophets, calling themselves watchmen of EZER-IAH. EZER-IAH is telling you they are blind. They are ignorant. Ignorant to what? Ignorant to the truth. They cannot see and they don't know. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. They're sleeping. They're lying down. They love to sleep. The spirit of darkness is upon them. They know not EZER-IAH. They don't know his name, neither his words, neither his commandments. Neither do they trust in his promise. And they are telling you that his commandments is done away with. They are telling you that some man came and died for you. They are telling you that you are to call on the blood of some man. My dear people, I want you to hear these words that I'm saying to you. These are the dumb dogs he is talking about right here. They cannot bark. They cannot teach you. They cannot alert you to the wrong. They cannot alert you. They cannot tell you when you pray to Jesse, you are praying to the anti-Messiah. They can't tell you that. They can't tell you that Jesse is of Lucifer. They cannot tell you that. They cannot tell you that Christianity worship the beast, Lucifer. They will never tell you that because they all are part and parcel of it. They are dumb. They are ignorant. They are blind. They are dumb dogs. They cannot bark. They always sleeping. How can a sleeping man teach you? Why do you want a dumb dog to guide you? How would you know when your enemy is coming? When the dog cannot bark. When the dog cannot bark, how will you know what's happening around you? How will you want a blind man to lead you? How could a blind man lead you? Why would you want an ignorant? Ignorant means someone who cannot comprehend. He doesn't know. How could he teach you? My dear brothers and sisters, right here, EZER-IAH is telling EZER-IAH to tell you this. Are you listening? I hope you are. Let's see what EZER-IAH is saying about them some more. In 11, he says, they are greedy dogs. They are greedy dogs. They will never have enough. These are your pastors and your priests and your prophets. These are your prophets and your priests and your pastors. They are greedy. Don't you know they are greedy? Don't you see how greedy they are? Don't you know they will take and take and never stop taking from you who have nothing and will give you nothing? Don't you see how greedy they are? They will take and buy the most expensive car. They will take and buy the jet. They will take and buy the mansion. And to you, they're taking it from have nothing. They care nothing about you. Don't you see this? They are greedy dogs. They could never have enough. Do you think that the Most High put this in this book last week, last year, or the last 5 years, or the last 10 years? My dear brothers and sisters, EZER has put this in this book for you way many generations, thousands of years ago. He has put this in this book for you. But you will not take up your book. Take up your book and read your book and see what's happening around you. Allow the prophets to speak to you from the pages of your book, the book that I have preserved for you. Here he is telling you, they are greedy dogs. They will never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot comprehend. They are shepherds that cannot comprehend. They cannot, as their word put it, understand. How can someone who have no comprehension of EZER's word, of his truth, of his precepts, and his statutes, his commandments, the purpose of his name, the name that he gave you, the land that he has given us, the name he put on the land that he gave us, his holy mountain where it stands, the name of his holy mountain. How can they teach you? How can they teach you of EZER when they themselves know him not? How can they teach you of EZER when they know him not? He continues. They all look to their own way, everyone for his own gain from his quarter. That's why every one of them want to open their own church, their own ministry. Here he is telling you, he said they look to their own way, not EZER's way. Everyone for his own gain. They don't looking to bring no one to EZER. They're not looking for anyone to bring to the Most High. They're only looking out for themselves. That's why they live their best life. And when they die, they has given their soul to Lucifer already. They are servants of Lucifer. They are pastors and watchmen of Lucifer. My dear brothers and sisters, they are watchmen of Lucifer. They worship the anti-Messiah. They worship Jesse, the one who was never anointed. Your name Messiah means EZER anointed. The one who EZER has anointed is David. Jesse was never anointed. The strangers has put Jesse in the place of David. They have hidden David from you. They have hidden the name of EZER from you. Now you are worshiping Lucifer and his father. You are worshiping Zeus. You are worshiping Baal. Under the name, the pretense of Lord and JC and God. Wake up, my people, and hear the word of IAH that is sent unto you. Wake up, my people, and hear the word of IAH that is sent unto you. He is telling you those that you are listening to are blind. Those that are guiding you are blind. Those that are instructing you are ignorant. They are dumb like dogs. They cannot bark. Sleeping, they love to sleep. They lie down all day and sleep. They know that you will bring your money, your hard-earned money, and give it to them. They love to slumber. He tells you in verse 11, they are greedy dogs. They can never have enough. And who are they? They are the ones who say they are shepherd to you. They are the ones who saying that they are shepherding you. He said they have no comprehension. They have no understanding. They all look to their own way. Not to your way, not to IAH's way, to their own way. Every one of them is for their own gain. That's why they want to have their own mega church. They want to have their own sanctuary. And then he tells you what they say on a daily basis. Verse 12. They say, come, say they. They're talking to one another. He said, fetch wine, and we will they fill themselves with strong drink. And tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. They buy wine and alcohol. They have the big mansions. They get together. They drink. They have fun. And they say, don't worry. They spend as much as possible. They drink as much as possible. They live lavish lives. And they say, don't worry. They know how much money they will get from you in the next offering. Because they know you bring your hard-earned money to them. My dear brothers and sisters, I've just read to you where IAH is telling you about the strangers, and he's telling you about those that are among us, that are lying to us. The very ones who have taught our people to lie to us. They have taught them in the seminaries with mockery and fakery to come to us and lie to us. And IAH is exposing them to us. My dear brothers and sisters, I hope you look upon the news. I hope you see what IAH is doing to them. IAH is exposing them all over. All over the world, IAH is exposing them. I hope you are seeing what IAH is doing to them. And learn from what he is doing to them. Get out from among them, my people. They are teaching you false doctrine. They are lying to you. They are controlling you with the powers of darkness. Evil forces they are using on you. Get out from among them, my people. Don't let them pray for you. Don't let them touch you. Call on the name of IAH. IAH has given you a mouth and a tongue. IAH have given you the ability to call out to him. Do it. Praise IAH. Praise IAH. My dear brothers and sisters, I will take you to Isaiah chapter 49. And I will start from verse 22. And it begins. Thus says IAH. Here, IAH keep telling you who is sending this to you. He is not telling you he is speaking. He is telling you that IAH send this to you. He sent this to us. We have to listen to our ancestors, as I continue to tell you before. We must listen to our ancestors from the book that they left for us. This is the book of the law. This is the book of life. We have to listen to them. We must do this. We have to take out what the heathen put in our book and put the name of IAH back in our book. Thus says IAH, our Redeemer, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles. Here IAH is saying what he will do again for the Gentiles, the strangers. The Gentiles are the strangers. The Gentiles are the strangers, the other nations. That's who the Gentiles are. They are the other nations. When IAH made us into a nation, we were the nation of Israel. And the Gentiles were the other nations. IAH called them also the strangers in the earth. I will lift up my hand. IAH says he will lift up his hand to the Gentiles and set up a standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. Here IAH is telling you, Israel, that he is going to use the Gentiles to carry you on their shoulders, in their arms. Listen to what IAH is saying to you. Thus says IAH, behold, IAH will lift up my hand, he will lift up his hand to the Gentiles. So he's going to cause the Gentiles to do this, what he's about to tell you. He is saying he is going to use the Gentiles to do this, what I'm about to say, what he is telling you. And set up my standard to the people, that they shall bring thy sons in their arms. Whose sons? The sons of Israel. And thy daughters, the daughters of Israel. Ben-aiah and Beth-aiah, the sons and daughters of Aiah. Beth-aiah, Ben-aiah, shall be carried upon their shoulders. And the kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. Here IAH is telling us he will use the Gentiles to carry us in their arm and on their shoulders. And he will cause their kings, the strangers, their kings shall be our nursing father. They will have to take care of us. They will feed us. They will protect us. And the queens, their queens shall be our nursing mothers. As how they have used us to nurse their children when they brought us into captivity, they will have to feed us and feed our babies. He says, bow down to thee with their face. They shall bow down to us with their faces towards the earth, and lick up the dust of our feet. He will cause them to bow down their face towards the earth before us, and lick up the dust from our feet. And we shall know that IAH is our Redeemer, for they shall not be ashamed that wait on IAH. IAH is giving us a sign that will make us know that we have to wait on Him, that He is our Redeemer. He is going to bring the Gentiles unto us. They will lick up the dust from our feet. They will feed us and nourish us. They will have to serve us. They will help us. 24. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? Can a prey be taken from the mighty? If you see a lion eating a deer, can you go and take the deer from the lion? You wouldn't take that chance, right? Just so. No one can take anything away from IAH. No one can change IAH's rule, his law. They cannot change it. IAH is the one that will take us from our captives. IAH is the one that will take us from the strong nations that have us in their lands. That's what he's saying to you. But thus says IAH, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. So IAH is saying here, but thus says IAH. Isaiah is telling you, IAH says, He will take us from the mighty. He will take the captives of the mighty shall be taken away. He is going to take us out of their grip, their grasp. And the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. We are the prey to this terrible people, to the nations, the Gentiles or the heathens. And IAH is saying here, telling Isaiah to let us know He will remove us from them. For I will contend with him that contend with thee, and will save thy children. Here IAH is saying, I'm going to contend with them that contend with you. I am going to fight with them that fight with you. I am going to hurt them that hurt you, and save you, save your children. That's what He was telling our ancestors. And save your children. And I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh. Listen, verse 26. And I will feed them that oppresses you with their own flesh. And they shall be drunken with their own blood. Those who give you JC flesh to eat and telling you about drink JC blood, they never take the time to teach you of IAH. They're teaching you to drink blood and eat flesh. IAH is saying here He's going to give them their own flesh to eat and their own blood to drink. As with sweet wine, and all flesh shall know that IAH, our Redeemer, He is also our Savior and Redeemer. Look at it right here in your book. IAH is your Savior and your Redeemer. He is the mighty one of Jacob. My dear brothers and sisters, this was from chapter 49 of Isaiah, from verse 22 to 26. From verse 22 to verse 26. The other part was Isaiah chapter 56. I would like you to read it. I would like you to read it until you comprehend what it is saying to you. Also the strangers, he's telling us what he will do with the strangers and what they will have to do for us. Wait on EZER, serve EZER, call on his name, do his commandments, hope in his promises, and EZER will satisfy your desire. EZER have not let us go. EZER promised he will always be with us. In the rain, in the water, in the river, in the fire, EZER will be with us. We have to stick with him. We have to trust EZER. We have to hope in all that he has sent to us. We also have to give thanks to him for everything that he has provided for us. We have to serve EZER always. So may EZER bless you and keep you. May EZER guide you and protect you. May EZER shield you from all danger, from all accidents, and from all iniquity. Read the verses I've given you. Study the word, my dear brothers and sisters. Praise EZER. Give thanks every day. Give thanks for everything. Just give him thanks for everything. Everything you can remember, give him thanks. For your mother, your father, for being born, for your time in the womb, your time in the coming out of bowels. Give thanks for the air you breathe, the water you drink. Give thanks for everything. Give thanks for the heat of the sun. Give thanks for the cold. Give him thanks for the sea and the fishes. Give him thanks for the trees and the fruits. Give him thanks for the animals. Give him thanks for the forest. Give him thanks for the springs. Give him thanks for everything. Praise EZER, praise EZER, praise EZER. Give EZER thanks and rejoice. Praise EZER, praise EZER, praise EZER.